After his mother is shot and killed by a hunter, Bambi is greeted by his father, the Great Prince, who takes him to the den. The Great Prince asks Friend Owl to find a doe to raise Bambi. But Friend Owl tells him that due to the harsh winter, the does can barely feed themselves. The Great Prince has to take care of Bambi until spring. Sometime later, the Great Prince allows Bambi to be with his friends Thumper and Flower. At the groundhog ceremony, Bambi meets Feline, a young doe he had encountered before. The groundhog is coaxed out of his hole, only to be scared back in by an older fawn named Rono, who tries to impress Feline with stories of his encounter with man. When Bambi believes the story, Rono is about to fight Bambi until he is called away by his mother. When the others leave, Bambi falls asleep waiting for his father and dreams about reuniting with his mother. He wakes up to what appears to be his mother's voice, which calls him into a meadow. But it turns out to be an ambush by man. The Great Prince comes to Bambi's rescue and saves him in time, but is furious that he fell for the trick and almost getting himself killed. Days later, Bambi informs Thumper and Flower about his wish to impress his father. They decide to help Bambi be brave, but while doing so, they encounter a porcupine, who sticks his quills into Bambi's backside. Rono and Feline, hearing the commotion, investigate. Bambi sees Rono bothering Feline and gets into a fight with him. Rono chases Bambi and Thumper through the forest until Bambi leaps over a large ravine to safety. The Great Prince, having seen the whole thing, is impressed by this feat. Rono, jealous of the young prince, tries to jump over the chasm himself, but falls in, thwarted for now. The next day, Thumper encourages Bambi to talk to the Great Prince, and the two connect. The Great Prince allows Bambi to come along with him on his patrols, and as the two get closer, Friend Owl approaches them and introduces them to Mena, a doe who was a childhood friend of Bambi's mother and has been selected by Friend Owl to be Bambi's new mother. Bambi realizes the Great Prince had planned on sending him away and snaps at his father, while the Great Prince concludes that he is not meant to raise Bambi. Bambi sadly accepts the change. On the way to Mena's den, Rono shows up to taunt Bambi again. The two get into another fight that sets off one of man's traps, alerting man. Bambi saves Mena by leading man's dogs away from her, and the Great Prince arrives. The dogs chase Bambi, and his friends help him fend them off. Bambi evades all but one of the dogs. Bambi kicks the other dog off a cliff but falls off as well. Everyone grieves him until Bambi reveals he is still alive, and he and the Great Prince reconcile. Sometime later, Thumper shares his version of the chase with the rest of his friends, and Bambi, whose antlers have just grown in, enjoys the tall tale with Feline. Rono appears and vows vengeance on Bambi before being bitten on the nose by a turtle and runs off. Bambi meets up with the Great Prince, who shows him the field where he and Bambi's mother first met as fawns.